So I'm here at Takedown Festival with Pavé. So I'm gonna get straight into it, guys. So you guys have such a super polished sound, but you also manage to keep the essence of that emotional part of your music, which I think bands struggle with nowadays. They either go one way or the other. How do you balance that in sort of writing and in studio? I think it's a great
question.
I think for us, we've been saying, we rewrite the lyrics so many times. We'll we'll have a piece of music, the music will be there, and then we'll start looking into the melodies and the lyrics, and I'll kind of come up with a few versions, take them to Kev, and then we'll really sit and sort of think about them and just see okay, we connect to this, how could someone else connect to this? We never want to make it too personal to the point that no one else could relate. So I think it's just always making sure that the lyrics are something that people can connect to. So many versions.
And then sonically, we want that polished sound, of course, but we also want that live feel. What we're thinking about what the songs would be like live, how we would perform them live, how to come across live, the energy that they'll give to the crowd.
I'll tell you, a band that you guys remind me of, maybe not it wouldn't be an obvious comparison, but The Plot and You is one that comes to mind for me. It's they still manage to keep this polished sound, but then they keep that emotion really raw and powerful. I think you guys do that so well, which is brilliant. Sorry, the band.
Yes.
The Plot and You.
I love The Plot and You. Divide at the moment is my favourite song.
Their newer stuff is so good. They're singles in there.
Sorry, I got quite loud.
That's alright.
I love The Plot and You. Great.
But another thing that really stood out to me was your vocals on I think I checked out the latest EP, and your vocals do something to me. It's like they scratch an itch that I didn't know was there. Like some of the sort of higher pitches you get to are just crazy. Honestly, phenomenal. Was that something you kind of you had off the bat, or did you have to develop to that technical ability? Or
we've definitely had to make me develop some of those things. I've always loved riffing and running their vocals. I've always loved singing in head voice. I love pop music, so I'm super inspired by pop vocals, and I think a lot of people will disregard pop because they think it's sort of cheese or it's not got depth to it, but actually it's one of the hardest genres to write.
It is,
I don't know if I could write a really good pop song. I don't know. So I think the sort of vocals behind pop music, I'm massively inspired by the likes of Ariana Grande. And her vocal technique is incredible. I'm always sort of having fun because as well we've got to play these songs hopefully for a very long time. So it's something that we can have fun with on stage.
It sounds authentic as well, coming from you, which is brilliant. But when you mentioned the pop bit, I always think about I think A Day to Remember do that as well. They kind of have a really big pop element. Obviously that's really worked for them. It's just the thing that people do take for granted. People think in metal or rock or how music want to go down, you sort of disregard that pop element. It doesn't have to be super poppy. You can use it to sort of, and I can definitely hear that in your guys' sound. It's just it's really cool. Speaking of, so you guys released an EP in 2023. So you got 2024. So what is your have you got anything with the first album? You got any direction you want to go with that? Any more elements you want to add to your sound, or
with a sort of new EP idea? The last EP kind of told a story, and it was a bit of a concept, and I think for us, when we were going to create a new EP and something that we're working on in the background, we wanted to have a cohesive story, a cohesive meaning, and be one piece of art. So at the moment we're in single release because these songs are quite separate to each other. They're quite individual, their own worlds, but in the background we're trying to work on that adhesive one piece of art sort of EP idea.
Amazing. And I think it's one thing that I listen to band albums from front to back, so I really appreciate just a storytelling aspect behind it. And I think that's maybe a lost art nowadays. I think people want singles and which is brilliant, but it's if you release an album that it's really cohesive, and I think that just holds a lot of weight, which is really cool. I really got that from your EP as well, which is brilliant.
Kevin put a lot of work into the.
I had a couple of fans come up in Newcastle and talk about it, and it was great to kind of explain it to them because they'd figured it out themselves, and it's just that sort of thing of it was something that we were proud of, and we made it just with the idea of we want to just make something that we're proud of. 50 years to come, we look back and think that was great, fair play to us. So it's just kind of that idea.
I'll tell you what, a band I'm loving at the moment, I've loved for years, a band called Tonight Alive, and you guys really remind me of those guys. I thought these are cool. So not always comparing. I think you guys are unique in yourself. But it's always good. I just love those guys. So when I heard you guys, I was these guys are absolutely.
They were big sort of inspiration.
Yeah.
For
really?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because again, they balance that pop
Yeah,
and
they do it
rock
really
and
well.
yeah, their visuals, their music, they've inspired a lot of us in our earlier stuff and in some of our recent stuff as well.
Yeah.
I really like to go back to some of my earlier influences in times of rewriting because you can get so locked in on like what you're listening to right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to go back to what made you want to start in the first place, what inspired you as a child.
That's a cool way of thinking about it. Yeah. If you're showing Pavé to a new listener, what's the one song that you're like, this is Pavé? Like, what's that song you go, we'll get them into Pavé? What would that song be for you guys?
That's a great question because we have this quite a bit in reality.
Yeah.
Like if someone comes up and says, "Hey, I'm in a band," like, "Oh yeah," show them.
You got to pick that one song.
One song. I would say Prophecies because I'm very proud of that. Prophecies, but obviously whatever the cost, but
yeah, I think for me it's whatever the cost because it has got that rock side to us, but it's got the pop side. So people who might not be into heavier stuff like that, but people who also want that heavier stuff.
I feel like you guys could be a good like gateway band into like heavy music. Like I spoke about the Data Remember, they did that for me going into metal from sort of rock to metal. So I think you guys could do that from pop to rock really well.
We have found that like our fan base is so like diverse. Like some of them are super into their pop music, some are into like the heavier metal. So it's nice to find like ourselves in that nice mix, in that balance. Because it gives us the chance to then also always play around.
I feel like they're like kind of like a reflection of us because we are inspired by so many different genres and that mixes in our music. Then we've got all these fans who are fans of so many different genres as well. So it's like because we just mixing pop melodies, heavy songs, we just literally write what we're inspired by.
That's
we get this mix of fans, just a reflection.
So your live shows, what's a song that's really surprised you live? Like you didn't expect your fans to like really resonate with one of the tracks?
I mean, I think slow movements when we do that, that's not like my favourite song that we have, but that's the one that a lot of people come over to us and they're like, slow movements, I love that song, or that's the reason I love you guys, or like I've been looking forward to hearing that live, and I'm like,
that's true.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of people saying that, and then for me, what I'm surprised with is how well Crowded Isolation. It seems to have gotten better over the past year or so. We put it at the end of the set, and it used to not be there. We used to finish with something else. I remember it a while back. So many, but it surprised me because now it's like the one we finish on, and the finish is great. We get the mosh pit going, we get the thing at the end, people are loving it. I'm like, this song goes off harder live than I expected. Yeah,
so if we haven't got them throughout the whole of the set, we will get them at the very end of Crowded Isolation. Nice. We will work for it at the end of that set.
Yeah, brilliant. Also, what's I'd say like an unexpected collab? So not like you can go off script with different genres. What sort of something your fans wouldn't expect you to want to collab with?
And wouldn't expect this.
Not an obvious pick. Not this, man.
Well, 2020 is probably similar.
So I think, for me, not a set artist as such, but someone in like the drum and bass, hyper pop world.
Cool.
It kind of comes into some of our stuff, like into the ether. We were really inspired by Bad Omens at the time, and we wanted to create something that was a little bit like more drum and bass. It'd be really cool to do a remix. A drum and bass remix of one of our songs.
Who's the Maggie Lindemann actually?
Oh, Maddie Lindemann.
And then I would say, something like Bruno Mars. Let's throw it out there.
That's
new to me.
I like Bruno Mars.
Unlocking layers.
Get him in there. Just in a breakdown. Just a complete juxtaposition. It's the heaviest part of the song, and he just comes in. Shibby-dibby-doo.
That would be an insane breakdown. I'm here for that. That's amazing.
He just comes
on the
in.
keys.
So it's doing some 24-karat magic thing.
That's such a cool show. I like that. Now I'm going to ask an even harder question. I want you to pick your 5-song set list that you can. That's the only 5 songs you can play the rest of your career.
Ooh, okay. So I'd say Into the Ether, whatever the cost. Crowded Isolation.
Nice.
I love Animal. It's a song that the band will not let me put in the set, but I have a lot of fun because I got some nice little dance moves and I like to have a little boogie on stage with that.
Nice.
So Animal,
You have a different vibe to each song, don't you? So cool.
And then I think have I said Prophecies? No, I'd say Prophecies just because it's a really pretty song. We've only done it live a few times. And it's not one that I think I'd get bored of.
I'd say the same, just I change Animal for Slow Movements. The exact same. I think we're all on similar vibe in the bunch. Just one or two songs that kind of depends on the set time.
Yeah.
Fair enough. If you had to pick a band that most people would know, so maybe like a Linkin Park or someone like that, is your most sort of sound comparison? Like, if you like this band, check out Pavé. Like, who would that band be?
I think at the moment it's like poppy.
Poppy, yeah.
Yeah, in like newer stuff especially that's coming out, I'm really inspired by
Yeah,
Poppy
I can see that.
I cannot scream as much as the band keep asking me to learn. But she's got a lot of like pop melodies in there. There's a lot of that synth. Obviously Jordan Fish is just like an incredible.
He's a brilliant producer. Yeah, he's crazy.
So, yeah, I'd say something like someone like Pavé.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That's a great shout. Yeah. So now I'm going to go for a little quick fire thing, quick fire round to end the interview. So these are a bit easier. They're not as deep, so that's all good.
These are the harder ones.
Yeah. These might be really hard. Yeah.
It's like when someone says act natural and you're just like, right. These ones are going to be easy, sure.
Yeah. So, first gig you ever went to?
Oh, the first gig I ever
yeah.
Bon Jovi when I was like 7 years old.
That's cool.
Yeah, they played Lansdowne Road. That was
Amazing.
inspiring.
Mine was 5 Seconds of Summer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Sheffield.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
That's sick. Favourite band right now?
Polaris, but also
Polaris.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so good. They're so good right now. Their latest album, Fatalism. Their latest album is so good. Yeah.
The riff in it.
Oh,
It's insane.
Amazing. I'm so underrated. They're big, but I feel like they need to be bigger. Favourite album of last year?
Ooh,
A bit of a harder one because it's condensed.
it is hard.
Architects. The
Yes, the Sky, the Earth, and all between.
everything between. Yes.
Yeah, nice. Great.
I'm going to agree with you on that one, just because it was such an inspiration for a lot of the newer stuff.
Jordan Fish again.
Yeah.
Black Hole. The production on that.
The music videos as well are just
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
that's
like
a brilliant
Whiplash
shout.
and stuff. All them.
Great shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect that answer. Biggest influence?
Architect. Recently.
I want that Bruno Mars breakdown right now.
Yeah, imagine on a song like that, Black Hole.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars just pops
That would
in.
go off.
Like,
That would go absolutely off.
I think it would.
Girl.
I want that now. We need that.
Biggest influence right now would be quite similar to what listening to a lot of. So for me, the one would be Polaris and Ibervale, Architects. Bad Omens is a huge influence as well on the band as a whole, aesthetically.
Yeah.
Good shout.
I mean, for me, I feel like it's really cliche to say them, but like for me, it would be Blue Horizon. Just because, like musically,
you can pick a different era, and
like, they've got so many different vibes to them. They never just stay pigeonholed. They're always developing,
100%.
no matter what their fan base think of them. Like they running with it, and I think that's really important for artists. But also the community that they've built. You know, they've really built a community, and people really connect to them, and that's something that we'd love to have. We always strive to make sure we have online, in person. It's that community feel.
That's amazing. So it's not just sonically of their music; it's how they go about as a band is an influence. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's amazing. So, your favourite venue or festival? You played at? Yeah.
Favorite.
Or you can go as a gig goer as well. You can.
Still
I've thrown in an extra one that I've not done.
And
yet.
these are meant to be easy.
Yeah, sorry.
No, joking. I'd say Why Not Festival was a great one. I really liked that one. Yeah, Trees.
Yeah, I think for me, 2000 Trees.
I love 2000 Trees. Such a vibe.
It was our biggest festival stage, biggest crowd, and it was the first time that we really was like, we want to put on the best show of our lives. We worked hard.
Which stage did you play at?
New stage. Yes, it was 10th. It was 30 degrees, and I was wearing this as well. Sweating.
Fair enough.
It was hard. And they still did a pit, so fair play to them.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good. That's good. And what would you ban at a gig? This is a bit of a...
I'm the gig.
If anything could ban
standing right in front of someone like that and blocking your view. I'd ban that.
We went to see Poppy in Manchester, and we've got the perfect spot.
Yeah.
And then right before she came on, this group of guys just slowly.
I
leave that space free.
It's so annoying. I mean, I'm so tall. I'm very self-conscious on where I stand. So I'm like, I'm sort of like, I'm always off to the side, or I'm in a mosh pit. That's kind of how because I don't want. And if I get close, I don't want. And I notice there's like girls behind me. So I'm like, I can't actually enjoy the gig because I'm too self-conscious about behind me, and I'm like. I know I can't control my height, but I also can't control my feelings, and I feel really bad. So I like
no, it didn't make you feel bad, but usually that's not a problem. It's just like this guy got so close,
Some people have no awareness though.
He knew what he was doing.
He did. He was
Some
trying to get close.
tactically assholes. That's what they are.
It's like, how much closer do you need to get? It's not that big of a venue. Stage is there. It's fine.
An underrated band, so you think just deserves a bit more love. You want to push it?
Tropical.
Yeah, we love them. And they are going to just like absolutely fly.
They have such a huge cinematic sound. Like they feel. I'm surprised that they're how big they are. Like they should be huge. Like,
And they will be. For sure,
I think they
because the
will. Yeah.
music's incredible.
Incredible production.
The visuals are visual. So
Yeah. Also an inspiration. We've seen them at trees. We've seen them at the they did a silent set.
Yeah, that's
Nice. Yeah. Was that trick or trees?
Trees at the forest stage.
No, I love that stage. Such a cool stage. Yeah,
They sound amazing.
I was meant to see them I was at Radar, and I was interviewing bands at that point. They were playing. It's happened again today, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So it's just I'm destined to never see Tropical, and it's just
You're
like,
always where they are.
I'm just never get
Two
there.
passing ships in the night.
Yeah, exactly.
So close.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, but that is everything. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Lovely to
much.
meet you.
Have a good evening too.
Hands across.
Cheers, guys. That's all right. Cheers. Thank you very much.